Hello, everyone. This is Tracie L James, your business growth strategist, and I'm back. That's right. I am back with another interview with an amazing female entrepreneur. But wait, not today, baby. I don't have one for you. I got two. That's right. I have Camille and Carla, the HR Twins from the Career Salon. And let me tell you just a little story before I bring them onto the stage. Look, I remember these two when they were students at Tennessee State University. That's right, Nashville, Tennessee. Honey, we all went to the same church, and I met these beautiful women, and let me just say, they became my babysitters. They would be at my house eating all the time. It was always, Miss Tracie, what you cooking? So I guess I kind of became their personal chef. So whenever I was in town and not traveling, I was feeding them. And then in return, guess what? These sisters was dressing me. Let me tell you, if you looking for a deal, them sisters could find a deal on an amazing outfit. They always had me looking good. So, and to top it all off, they are also my sorors of the amazing sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. That's right. That pink and green, baby. You can't get away from it. So let me just bring them onto the stage because they are amazing, and I can't wait for them to share all the brilliance they have in the area of human resources. So what's up, ladies? Welcome.
Thank you, Tracie, for having us. We're so excited to talk to
Man,
you.
I have been so looking forward to this interview because I've watched you all blossom, you know, from struggling college students hustling to keep everything going, sharing a car, sharing an apartment,
Yes.
just doing everything together. And I'm so proud. You are professional women, you're entrepreneurs, your moms, your wives. I'm just blown away and so proud. I'm saying this in front of everybody. I am so proud of the women they have become and are becoming, because they are still growing and developing and really beginning to truly blossom outside of their full-time professional careers. So with that being said, you know me, you know my first question. Y'all know what it is. So I'm going to ask them my favorite question. Who are you and why do you do what you do? And I believe Carla told Camille that she was going first.
Yes, she did. Valen told me. Valen told me. Yes, she did. That Carla is 9 minutes older than me, so she thinks she's the boss of me, right? Tracie knows it.
Yes.
Well, I am Camille, and I am half of the HR Twins and co-owner of the Career Salon. And I have been in talent acquisition for almost 16 years now. And so, uh, I want to put a pin in that and say, Tracie, yes, you knew us when we were college students, poor college students. And then after graduating, thinking we were going into IT and entered that bad economy in 2002. And guess what? There were no opportunities. So we were still poor college alumni. But we made it through. We overcame a lot of obstacles to get to where we are in HR, recruiting. Is something we kind of fell into. We started our careers in like a retail situation and then moved on to some like little jobs here and there. But the reason I've been in talent acquisition for so long and stayed in is because I love people, right? I've even had people in groups that I'm in, networking groups, like, you've been in recruiting for over 15 years. That's weird. I've never seen a recruiter that's been actively recruiting for that long. Usually it's with the hustle and bustle and just the pressure of recruiting, people usually get out of it and go on to something else in HR. But I stayed in it because I love helping people with their careers, and which is one of the reasons we started the Career Salon, right? To help people, teach them the secrets of the trade and what goes on behind the scenes in all these different companies and what they should do to position themselves in their career and maximize those opportunities and network, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm in it for the love of it. I actually, love people. No matter what I would have done, it would have been something to do with people.
I totally agree. I really can't add that much more to what you already said, Camille. But I'm Carla, and I've been in HR for it'll be 18 years this year. And I love it just the same. I love people. I love being an advocate for people. I love being behind closed doors and able to have a seat at the table and raise my hand with, wait a minute, let's think about the ramifications and how this would impact the employee population. And I love speaking up and having that courage. A lot of HR people may not have the same type of courage. They may be scared to speak up in spaces, because they may be looked at a certain way, but I'm not. And so I love it. I mean, I think you have to be passionate to be in a certain field or the same industry for this amount of time. You really do have to. And we're so passionate that we can't stop talking about it. We decided to start something after work, the Career Salon, to continue the conversation and to continue to be that advocate for people who can't necessarily or don't feel comfortable going to their HR department. I mean, a part of the reason why we started this is because we would get calls and emails and texts from family members and friends saying, this is going on at my job. Help me figure it out. And we're like, what about your HR department? They're like, I don't want to go to them. I'm scared. They're going to fire me. And we have to talk them through the steps to feel comfortable resolving a situation at work. And I love that.
Wow. And you're right. I mean, I actually had a moment. I had one of them age moments where when y'all were talking about how long y'all been in y'all careers, and I'm thinking about, I was for sure grown with a child in junior high school when I met y'all. So I'm sitting here like, y'all been working that long. Wait, that explains all the gray in my hair. Oh my goodness. But you're right. It does take passion to stay in a specific space for a long period of time.
Yeah.
When I think about the fact that I've been in sales, some type of sales or marketing for over 20 years.
Yes.
Like, if I honestly say it, it's probably been about 28 years because I started in sales when Terrence was about 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So I'm passionate about it. I love what I do, and I love helping other people do it. And so, I've checked out the podcast. So y'all, below this video is all the information about how to connect with them. You need to follow their podcast. Let me tell you, they are bringing in people and sharing knowledge that you need. And this is the deal. As an entrepreneur, you may look at it and go, well, why do I need to watch the HR Twins podcast? Why do I need to listen to them? You need to listen because if you're truly building a business, you're going to hire employees. And the HR Twins are there to help you try to avoid some of these pitfalls and really help your people. Really be there for your people. So I see your passion in everything that you two do. So the other piece of it is the determination, the persistence. Because like you said, you graduated in an economy that was not very friendly, and you struggled to find work. So how is it that the two of you have been able, through those type of struggles, continue to be able to progress and grow? What helps you overcome those obstacles?
I would say being self-motivated regardless of your circumstances. Like knowing that whatever you're encountering, that there's an end point, that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It may be a day, it may be a month, it may be a year or 2 or 3, but knowing that there's an end point, right? When we graduated from college, it was kind of like, are we just going to be in these like odd jobs or whatever forever? Like, when is this going to turn around? It's all about keeping your head on a swivel and being able to pivot, because the opportunities that Carla and I got as we approached our HR career, we got by networking. We got by maximizing. I'll let Carla tell her story about how she got into HR. And then also, I was working at my church when somebody was like, Camille, you would be an amazing recruiter. Have you ever thought about that? I'm like, no. Like, you never know who's watching you. So if you do have obstacles, if you do have hiccups in your career or what you're doing, it's all about how you handle it and how people see you persevere in spite of difficulties. That is a great trait for any professional, to overcome and persevere in spite of challenges. That's something that a lot, as I'm speaking as a recruiter now, that's something that every employer that I've worked for, and from a recruiting standpoint, that's something we look for in candidates. Hey, there's going to be challenges on this job. Give me examples of how you've overcome and managed those challenges. It's the same thing with your career and figuring things out. But just know that networking is not just direct, it's also indirect, and people are also watching. So being self-motivated and positive, even when you're in a bad or difficult situation, that's key. And I want to, swing it over to Carla because she has a great story.
And I probably told this story like 50 times in the last couple of months because I've been on several other podcasts and I know people are probably tired of hearing it, but it really goes back to the core of holding on to your values. Our dad taught us very early on that we may not have the jobs that we want, but if you are a janitor, if you are a cook at a McDonald's, be the best darn janitor, the best darn cook that you can be while you're in your in between. It doesn't matter what you're doing, do the best at it. And that's exactly what I did when I was working retail in a shoe store. After we graduated, that was the job I had. Did I want to be there? No, but I chose to have joy. And that showed up in my personal brand. And I was basically recruited off the sales floor by one of my customers. That was the VP of HR. And she hooked me on to a position that she had vacant. I applied, interviewed with her team, and I've been in HR ever since. So aside from having those values, aside from, being able to communicate how you overcome challenges and being self-motivated, just understand that even if you think you don't have a personal brand, you do. And whether that's good, I mean, we could talk about the aunt that doesn't know how to cook macaroni and cheese, but she always insists to do it at Thanksgiving. She has a personal brand of being the aunt that can't cook macaroni and cheese. So even if she doesn't want to admit that or know that, she has that personal brand. And it's all about building that and talking about the indirect personal brand. Camille was talking about networking and LinkedIn. We both have gotten jobs in our fields because of the brand that we have on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And the way that we present ourselves. People message us and we get job opportunities like that. So always remember to focus on your personal brand, being authentic, and bringing your whole self to whatever opportunity that you have.
Wow. And let me tell you something. That is good stuff, because the truth of the matter is I navigated three layoffs, and y'all saw me go through them.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we remember.
Yes. It was tough to go from 6 figures, expense account, company car, to going, oh, I'm not going to have that. Then because of a network, because of a connection, I was able to continue working, shifted from one division to the other. Yeah. So, that layoff saved. Next layoff comes. They decide to sell a brand out from under me. I found out later, the proposal I created to help revamp the brand for the current company I was working for. But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. Y'all know I share that.
PTSD.
So, but, being able to, because I was the type of person who always put my best foot forward, didn't matter whether it was a paid job or volunteer work. Yeah. I was always doing my best. Mm-hmm. And that is a testament to that true personal brand. And we've called it a personal brand now. That's what that's the fun word, the buzzword. Right. But what it has always been is your reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Your reputation is what moves you. Mm-hmm. And how you use your reputation is your branding. Mm-hmm. Okay. So in that process of, you are building out the career salon, mm-hmm. what are some of the key things, what's probably like the number one question that you get from people who reach out to the career salon? What's the top thing people are looking for, issue that they're having with their employer? Because my entrepreneurs need to know what that is.
Okay. Carla, well, we get two separate veins. We get recruiting questions and we get HR questions. I'll let Carla hit on that, the top like HR
Okay.
question, but the top recruiting question that we get is about money. It's about negotiating salary before you get a job, like, going into offer stage, or how to make more money at your current job, how to get that promotion, how to ask for more money during the life cycle of your career. So that's the top question that I get from a recruiting standpoint, is how to negotiate those coins. Carla?
That's important. That is important. That is
I
important.
would I would say the top HR question that I would get is how to address unfairness at work.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that, some level of discrimination or a manager unfairly disciplining an employee, or the company unfairly promoting others. Mainly, it's the minority demographic, like Black people, Latino people, that are having these issues at work, where they feel like, okay, so you are promoting
Mhm.
white males only. Okay, you passed me up when I've had 10 more years of experience than them. I have 2 more degrees than them, all the certifications, but somehow I get passed over, or you don't recognize me as the professional that I am. And I have people that are literally on the cusp of filing EEOCs, and they want me to walk them through what that looks like, what they should look out for. So that would be the number one: addressing unfairness in the workplace on all levels.
Wow. Wow. So, you know, I've been the employer. I've been in the management position, and I've been the employee.
Yeah.
So I've dealt with both of those. Now, the negotiating piece on the money, I think when you're younger, you're real timid about, okay, if they offer you XYZ money, I'm going to take it because I can't really ask them for anything else.
Mhm.
And where I am right now in my career, probably in the last 10, 15 years, when I have been the employee, I haven't had a problem asking for more money. They can say no. That's my thing. You can tell me you're not going to give me more.
Right.
I'm going to ask.
Absolutely.
Right.
And I think that's the thing that a lot of people feel uncomfortable. They feel like they're going to rescind the offer if I ask for more money.
Right.
And the truth of the matter is, they're going to come in at a level they think you'll take, but they got usually they have wiggle room.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
I know in I have wiggle room, because you're managing a budget. You're managing a budget, and you want to get the best person, but you don't necessarily want to max your budget out, because it takes time to really amp that person up and really begin to see the return on investment for that hire.
Mhm.
So you need some space in there to be able to do that. So that's the management side view of it. But as an employee, you do have the right to negotiate. And the whole unfairness, I'm at a point in my life where when I start to see that, I map my way out. And that's what I did the last time.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is, because you hear of retaliation,
Yes.
I really truly feel like what you've created is a safe space for people to feel like they can vent and ask the questions and get actual advice, instead of posting it on Facebook.
Yep.
Yes.
Or Twitter. I mean, I have seen some really interesting questions pop up on Facebook and Twitter about jobs and employment.
Mhm.
And I'm sitting here, you have your company's name, the company you work for is in your bio, and you are blasting them on social media.
Yes.
Share some tips for how you should be presenting yourself especially if you truly are that person that wants to climb the corporate ladder. How can they really position themselves with their personal brand online and social media? Because we've seen social media cause people to lose their jobs. So what are some tips?
Well, there's a difference between your, personal social media and your professional social media.
Right.
And so LinkedIn is different than Facebook, but some people muddle that together and think it's the same. It's not. But I also think that there is a personal brand side of Facebook, even if that's your personal Facebook.
Yep.
Because even if your page is private, I just learned this week that some companies have a software that even if you post something and it's private, share with your friends only, nobody from the public can see it, they can still flag posts by you on your private page. I don't know why companies are doing this because it opens it up for bias in the workplace, but they are. Some companies are, and there are softwares that kind of find the employees online, and even if they're private, find their statuses and what they post. So if that's the case, if you work for, it's mostly the larger size companies. If that's the case, I suggest that you change your name on your personal Facebook. If you want to vent or really personal things on Facebook or Twitter, change your name. So instead of Tracie James, it can be James something or TJ or something like that. Just change it so that, that won't be an issue. I just put out positive, good things. I try to just lighthearted things or thoughtful things on my Facebook or Twitter. So even if my employer does find out what I post, it's not that big of a deal. It's not disparaging. It's not full of bias or whatever. LinkedIn is a totally different thing.
Yeah.
That is your professional Rolodex. A lot of people don't like LinkedIn because they just feel like it's a lot of noise, and it is, but there is value. You chew the meat and spit out the bones. There is value in LinkedIn. Most of my jobs that I've had in my career have come through networking on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Me posting thoughtful statuses, me writing articles on LinkedIn and having them be impactful. Just posting things about my company, encouraging things, and just networking, commenting and interacting with people on LinkedIn. That's important too. That builds your personal brand.
Yep.
And I suggest that people be authentic when they're on LinkedIn. There's a lot of fluff and
Yep.
people portraying themselves to be something that they're not. That happens with any type of content, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, people like elevating themselves to be influencers or, all of these things. You have to kind of separate, you have to kind of use your street smarts and who's real and who's not. And then, be authentic to you on every platform. So those are just some tips I would suggest. Carla, do you have anything to add?
One thing that I would just add with that, we've seen screenshot professionals around in the last couple of years really get their runoff in the business of calling people out. So I would just say that if you are going to have a private Facebook page and you are going to be connected with people that you work with, you want to make sure that you're not saying anything. I know you think that's your friend from work. They feel the same way. But let me tell you, when people get in a position sometimes to throw other people under the bus, they will do that.
Mm-hmm.
And even though you can delete a post, screenshots live forever.
Ever.
So you just want to be careful that of the people that you connect with. I know some people are like, yeah, I got 3,000 friends on Facebook, or I have this many followers on Instagrams. And that's all well and good, but everybody doesn't mean you good. So I would just be mindful of that. Hooray for your 5,000 followers, but it's not a hooray when somebody screenshots something and send it to your employer. And we've seen that happen over the last couple of years many times where people have got disciplined and terminated because of the persona that they have on social media. So I would just say be careful of that. And a lot of companies are putting those clauses under the representation of being an employee for their company in their handbooks, in the things that you sign that you don't read. So just be mindful of that.
Right. They don't read it.
Wow. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I've done some contract work for some companies since I've been here in Houston. And it's funny because of the age I am, I'm the person who sits there when they hand me the packet and I'm doing this. I'm going through it line by line, and they're looking at me like, well, it just says this. No, 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 no. I need to skim this. If you're not going to give me the opportunity to take it home, then I need to at least skim it, because I want to know what I'm agreeing to, because I had a situation where I signed on for a contract position and I didn't read it. I just assumed that it was everything what they were saying. And then they're coming at me going, well, again, that whole thing of watching your social media. I was very honest and upfront about the fact that I have my own business. This is what I do. I'm just contracted with you. I'm a 1099 employee. This isn't a permanent position. And they had a problem with the fact that I was sharing information on my page and providing advice and tips and strategies. They had a problem with it. And they were like, well, you are violating your contract. You're not supposed to be helping our competitors. I said, how am I helping your competitors? But in their mind, I was helping their competitors because I had a weekly show where I was talking about how to build your team, your sales team. And it blew me away. And so I ended up, severing that relationship, because it was in my best interest to continue doing what I was doing with my business, not to keep that contract. So telling y'all, read the contract before you sign. Understand, ask questions about what you're signing. Don't let them rush you through that process of doing your paperwork. So I am so enjoying this conversation. I really could talk to y'all for probably another hour, 2 hours, but I know in the interest of time, we have to kind of wrap this up. So one thing I want to kind of get an understanding of from you, just knowing that we are speaking to women in business, what is one piece of advice you want to share with them as we close out this interview?
I think that a reckoning is coming in corporate America and just in general for women and also people of color speaking out. And I would suggest that women lean into this reckoning that is happening. Unfortunately, it's off the heels of bad things that have happened in our communities and things like that. But this reckoning is necessary. And women need to lean into speaking up, having a say, but backing it up with facts and receipts. You never want to approach things or be assertive with fluff. You have to have receipts, like whether you're an entrepreneur or whether you're an employee for a company. So lean into that reckoning and the revolution that is happening within our space, in the space of entrepreneurship, but also just have receipts and back yourself up with education, training, and the like. Carla?
For me, I would say never underestimate the power of leaving. And what I mean by that is sometimes we get so comfortable with jobs and situations that make us comfortable. Okay, we got enough money to pay our bills, save a little. I want to move up, but I'm also secure in my job here. I think that, I've been at several roles where there was no going up for me, whether that be I was at the top of what that company could do or the top of my range in salary or whatever the case may be. And I've had to leave to promote myself, being an advocate for where I want to be. And so never underestimate the power of leaving. Sometimes you have to leave to get to where you want to go in the end. And so always remember that. I know it could be uncomfortable and risky to do those things, but sometimes you have to, especially when you have your own vision and your own goal of where you want to be, how you see yourself in life, and also creating wealth. Sometimes, that one job, about 70,000 is all you're going to make. And you having children in the family, you want to create a wealth track for your family, and you sometimes can't do that staying at the same job. So never underestimate the power of leaving.
Wow, I love it. I love it. I am so thankful that the two of you were able to sync your schedules and join me today. And for those of you watching, I hope you got something amazing out of this. I'm gonna be honest, here I am, definitely their senior. And I always get a lot from the conversations that we have. So check out the comments below. I'll have all of their contact information so that you can connect with them. And I'm telling you, you need to subscribe to the podcast because it's good. Okay.
Thank
Good,
you.
good stuff. So thank you so much, Carla. Thank you so much, Camille, for joining me. I truly love you. And continue to put all of this amazing positivity out into the world because we need it. We truly need it. And I am looking forward to seeing you all break some more glass ceilings. So take care, and I will see
Thank
you
you
all
so
soon.
much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.